Hello, 120. I was hoping that we'd have a couple more people here, but I guess that not, so that's okay. I'm super nervous, but I made a bunch of notes. I wanted to go like over like a lot of inconsistencies with things that Jody Sue said and things with the whales. And I wasn't and but Sage Sleuth had a long live yesterday, and then the last month she's been putting up a bunch of Jody Sue's inconsistencies. So I'm not gonna really do those as much. I just wanted to talk about some of the things that the lies that have been going on about the wells, and we all believed them. I mean, I was like sure that Candace, hello, beautiful sunflower. Well, I was sure that Candace had something to do with it. I just knew it, like, and then I believed like a lot of the stuff that everybody was saying. I felt like the interview room was like, not the interview room, the um, behavior panel. I was like, they're crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. It's hard to get used to these headphones, so bear with me a little bit. um, and so, like from the beginning, like I just knew that they were guilty, and I was just like, So I was going over a bunch of stuff that they said, and I have proof that the sisters were lying, and that. But let me just my notes. I was trying to write a script so I could like go over that easier, but after that long live yesterday, she covered a lot of stuff. It's really good. You should watch it if you have the chance. I mean, you might have to watch it in pieces because it was pretty long, but it had a lot of information, a lot of good information. And let me find the page. But anyways, I wanted to talk about like Don and Candace first of all. And I just, you know, I think we all misjudge them because they don't speak like us, they don't act like us, they don't parent like we do, like whatever we would do. Like, I mean, but growing up in the country is a lot different than growing up in the city or growing up in other places. Like, even when I was a little kid in Mexico, we used to go run through the farm, and it was huge. And they weren't really like out there like hovering over us, watching us, all that time. We never got in any trouble, and we didn't disappear, of course. But I mean, it wasn't the same circumstances as Ben Hill Road, of course. And so it's an open panel, by the way, too. So if anyone wants to come up and share their ideas. But another thing about the whales, and like their parenting, like you can learn to be a good parent if you go out and like seek help and get the knowledge and information. But usually people get parenting from from what their parents did, and then you usually say, well, I think I could do better, so I'm going to do this differently or whatever. But we usually learn from our parents, and if you never had that, it's hard to just like learn it, especially when you're not really like when you're away from everybody, secluded up on a hill like that. You're not going to learn a lot of stuff. And like, I don't know, I just I felt really bad for like I had to stop watching a lot of the Summer Wells things because everybody was just bashing them. I mean, it's been a year and a half. I doubt that they're that much of a criminal mastermind to get away with this. They would have found something by now. They had all their phones, they have, I mean, a lot of metadata, and they haven't found anything. That's why. Exactly. I mean, if Candace had a good role model, like if I was okay, if I was Candace in that situation and my mom was living in that trailer, if my mom would have walked in that house, my mom would have been like, "What the hell?" And she would have cleaned it. Like she wouldn't have even like said anything. She would have just started cleaning. And obviously Candace didn't have that. You can't learn stuff that nobody ever taught you. It's really hard. And like I said, being secluded up on that hill, there's no one to be an example for them. I think that they did the best that they could with what they had. And I mean, they have. they pass their polygraph. They have the behavioral panel that believes them. I mean, they think that they know more, and we all think that. But I mean, they could suspect that they know more, but they probably don't know more. I think one of them would have cracked by now. They were drinking and they were getting high and they were doing this and that. One of them would have slipped, and one of them, neither one of them have slipped to anyone. That's why I don't think that. I think that she was taken or lured away. And then um oh, and then like I don't know how to say this without sounding, and these are all just, I just want to say too, this is all my own opinion. It's isn't, it's based on from the last year of everything that I've heard. It's not, I'm trying to keep it on facts, but some of it, you have to kind of like go, hmm. So this is just my opinion. These are not facts. Like, please do your own research. Um, but anyways, from the beginning, Jody Sue, she's been running her own narrative, and she's the one that's been behind the scenes, that from the first, oh,
From the first. Oh,
hello.
hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Hi.
Oh, yes. Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can
Yes.
you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Thank you for
Okay.
coming up.
Uh huh.
I wanted to speak.
Thank you for coming up.
You're so welcome, my dear. I wanted to speak on the fact that we saw their house, but we saw their house after how many members of law enforcement tore it upside down.
Exactly.
So I don't think
Exactly.
the way we saw their home was not the way it was before.
Right. And
Right.
everyone says that they didn't, that she didn't cook
And
and
everyone
all
says
that.
that she didn't cook and all that.
I'm sorry,
But
I have
we
a
know
I have
she
a lag.
did cook
I'm
because she
sorry.
Exactly.
I have a lag. Exactly.
we know she did cook because she was cooking after Summer went missing.
Right.
Right.
I feel like we have been led, sold a story, and we all believed this story because of the person that told us this story, the storyteller. We were going off of his credentials. And I'm not going to name any names. We all know who it is.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I believed the story. I'll be the first to admit I believed the story. And I thought there was no way around it. They were guilty.
So did I.
So did I.
And, now I feel like we all believed it. That's what we all thought. We threw them under the bus, as far under the bus as we could throw them. And we're no further along. We don't know where Summer is, and we don't know what happened to her. So it's high time we start looking at other people as hard as we have looked at the Wells.
Exactly. That's my point. Yes.
Exactly. That's my point. Yes.
I'm gonna
So
just give me
carry
one
on
second.
and
I'm
I'll
gonna
chime
I'm gonna just give
okay.
me 1
I'm
second.
gonna
I'm gonna
refresh
read.
my page real quick
Okay.
because I have a bad
I'm gonna
lag.
refresh my page real quick because I
Okay.
have a bad lag.
Okay. Beautiful sunflower, you can get link and get up here too.
Yes, I could put it up there for you. And like another thing I
And
wanted to
like
say
um,
is we
another
know
thing I
that
wanted to say is we know
oh
that
my
the
goodness. 1 second.
Oh,
I'm
my
gonna change
goodness.
something on my
1 second. I'm going to
settings.
change something on my settings.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if that works better.
Okay, let's see if that works better.
Okay.
Oh, it's still a lag. But anyways,
Oh, it's
what I
still a
was gonna
lag.
say is,
But anyways, what I was going to say is, wait, wait, wait.
Is it something that I'm doing wrong, Annie?
no, I think I don't know what it is. That's why I
No,
was
I
gonna get
think
my
I don't
friend
know
to
what
come
it
help
is.
me.
That's why I was going to get my friend to come and help me. That's why I was going to get my friend to come and help me.
Is
My
that better?
gosh.
Is that better?
I think
Let's
it is
see.
now. Are you there? I don't know what's going on. She's going to work on it. Can you still hear me, beautiful sunflower?
Hello? Okay.
Hello?
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 You can
Okay.
hear me now, right?
Hello? You can hear me now, right?
I can hear you.
Hello? You can hear me now, right?
Well, it's an echo.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, 1 second.
We're having a little technical issues. She'll get
Okay,
it
I'm
worked
sorry
out.
about that. Is that better?
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Is that better?
That's wonderful.
All right. I'll just have to get used to it.
I'll just have to get used to it.
So I was listening to Web Sleuth
So
the
I
other
was
night,
listening to Web Sleuth the other night,
Uh-huh.
and she was saying that
and
she was
she
talking
was
about the
saying that
person that you were just talking about,
she was talking about the person that you were just talking about,
and she said that
The
wait,
sister?
1 second, one more
and
thing.
she said that wait 1 second, one more thing.
Okay, I really don't know how to fix this.
Okay,
So
I really
I'm
don't
gonna
know how
have
to
to
fix
talk to my
this.
friend tomorrow
So
and maybe
I'm gonna
change
have to talk to
services.
my friend tomorrow and maybe change services.
Do you
You
hear an
want me to
echo?
drop out and see if that helps?
Do you hear an
No, it's
echo?
not that.
No, I don't
No,
now.
it's not that.
Okay, well then I'll just talk. I just hear myself
Okay, well then
after I
I'll just
speak.
talk.
I hear
I just hear
myself
myself
speaking.
after I speak. I hear myself speaking.
So, anyways, on Web Sleuths
So,
a few
anyways,
nights ago, she was talking about CM and all the lies, and she stated, I have the audio, but I won't try to play it because of the technical difficulties. But if you go, I can give you the timestamp. Let me find the. I'm sorry, I have a bunch of notes, but I'll give you the timestamp in a minute. And when I find it, oh, here it is. Um, Anyway, she was saying that he was feeding the sisters what to say, and he said that it sounds better coming from her than him. And so remember how when 20 how we were talking about how every time she goes on she has a new little story to tell.
Yes.
So the, and that's I mean, I knew that her story changed a lot of times. And I think she's just trying to, like the rest of them, trying to make money. You know which sister
And
I'm
she
talking about?
has.
Exactly.
Yes, I do. And she has made money. Bingo, beautiful sunflower.
Yes. She feels like from the first time that she spoke, uh, I didn't take notes, but I have a pretty good memory, and her story like changed dramatically the second time she spoke, and then the third, and then she started adding things in, talking about the finger and the dogs, and I mean, if that was
And the
true, I think all that
finger
stuff would have came out in the beginning. Go
and the
ahead.
thing with the dog, I was I was in that chat when it was said. And if you go where that came out at and you scroll back in the chat, it was said by that arch enemy of Dawn's in the chat. She read it in the chat and then it became a memory. I saw it with my own eyes.
I believe you.
And
And then,
everybody was talking about Summer was put in a septic tank. And then she came out with Donnie told it to their dad.
right.
I don't believe he ever told that to his father.
I don't either. And then that's what I was going to say. The next thing I was going to say about Dawn, my notes are really mixed up. But okay, it's been said by several people that Don takes off and he goes and stays at his job and he smokes whatever kind of drugs, cocaine or crack or I don't know. And that he gets hookers. So a person that is a, I don't know what's the correct word to use on here, but the SA of children, um, they usually have like that. They have that's their appetite. They're not looking for anything else. You know what I mean? Like yeah, they'll marry a woman with kids and stuff like that, but it's really to be around the kids. I mean, if Don was really doing something with Summer, he would have. Why would he have to? Why would he go get hookers? He could stay home and have all he wants. You know what I mean? It doesn't. That just doesn't make
Exactly.
sense. I don't believe it. I don't believe any of
Doesn't
their
add up.
sister stories. I think everyone just jumped out and found a way
Now
to
I
make
do
money.
believe I do believe I the other one's story because he admitted to that when he was I don't 16, 17, and she was, however old she was. And I do not think that's right. But all these years later, she decides to come forward with this story.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's
Do
what I'm
I
saying. It
believe that Dawn
was
do I
sleeping with
believe
other
that Dawn
women,
has been
probably.
faithful to Candace? Yes, I believe he has, probably the whole time they've been married. But I don't believe that Candace has been exactly faithful to him either.
Right.
And I do believe that he goes off on vengeance. Do I believe he's sleeping on the job sites? No, I do not believe that because his boss would have done something about that.
Right. Oh yeah, I don't have an echo anymore. Okay, and then
No,
another thing that like it's been stated from the beginning that you don't go to Beach Creek unless you have so-called business there, that you got to know someone or something to go up there. So how could a stranger go up there and get her? It has to be someone in Beach Creek, because someone would they would have there would be somebody would have said, "Oh, I saw, something." And I don't know about the red truck and the green van and all that stuff. I don't know anything about that. We haven't got a lot of information about that, so I don't really have an opinion on those. I just and then Jody Sue, she's told us like so many times how hyper vigilant she is, and how all this, she knows everything. She could hear someone speaking 2 miles away at another property, and she could feel the wind and know, and she knows she could smell someone different in the yard. Like, she's like that, and it just doesn't make sense. I think that I honestly think that they used her son to lure Summer away, because he was up there making friends with them, swimming in the swimming pool with Summer. So she thinks of him as a friend. A little kid doesn't know. And I think that he lured her away, and they did something. That night, Jody Sue was allowed to leave the property. They didn't quarantine off the area for a couple of days. And then another thing is, like, they weren't letting the public search, but they let the Franks and his brothers search. Like, why would they let a known pedophile search for a child? I don't understand that part.
right.
But they turned away like other people going to search. So that doesn't, I don't know what's going on with that. I kind of think that a lot of them are in on it. Andy was seen going up that hill around 3:30, and Summer went missing around 4:30 or 4 or 4:30. Oh, I can't. I used to be subscribed to Jody Sue, a beautiful sunflower, but I can't even listen to her anymore. She's all full of shit. She's just like, her story has changed from. She's another one. The first time she went on a panel, it was one story, and then she goes on another panel, it changes. And we've all saw her in chat the way she would, "Oh, that's not what happened. That's not what happened," and putting her own narrative up. She makes it seem like, and then she stated that she knew Summer was missing before she was looking for Summer before Candace knew she was missing. How could you be looking for her if nobody knew she was missing, or she wasn't even missing yet? And then let's see.
My
Where's,
main
I gotta find
issue,
my.
why would you run why would you run somebody off? Supposedly they ran Dobbs off and then go look for him.
Right. Or like, why was she in the creek making sure that the dogs didn't smell her scent? And someone said the dog stopped, and she said from her own mouth that the dog stopped at her feet, one of the search dogs. So they were saying that maybe the like her scent got on her clothes somehow. Oh, and then Andy,
Yeah, because
like, go ahead.
the scent dog was not searching for Jody Sue. They weren't searching for Jody Sue's scent. They were searching for Summer's scent. They were given an article, be it a shoe, a piece of clothes, something that had Summer's scent on it. That's the scent that dog detected to to go search for.
Right. Right. And then Andy sent her a text. I believe it was around four-ish, and he said something like, "Anything yet? Anything going on?" or something like that. Like, I don't know. It just they did mess it up from the start. And there's a one neighbor that was on the news. He claimed that they never came to search his yard. He was on I can't remember the news out there in Tennessee, the channel. I can pull that up next time. I think I'm going to try a different streaming service. Cuz I got a new hard drive, a new new everything, and it's still like lagging. So that way I can put a better show you all the things that I mean. But
And that was the guy with the big piece of property, correct?
correct. Oh, the name of the web
Yeah, I
sleuth.
saw him.
Go ahead. You saw him on that
I saw
channel.
him on, yes, state that they had never searched his property.
That doesn't make sense. Like
And
they
my
didn't even. It's
question
like
then is, yeah, how many others did they not search?
exactly, exactly. And I don't understand why the area wasn't like blocked off. She
Immediately.
Jody Sue deleted her channel, but she did have a video up there of her like in the drive-through of like Carl's Jr. or something that on June 15th ordering food. I have to look at my
And
videos. I think go ahead.
was that the one with Andy in the car with her?
Yes. And then the web sleuth
And
one
the
is
thing
called.
I caught was
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I have a lag. What'd you
the
catch?
thing I caught was when I don't know, I think he came on PG's channel, and that girl he's with now, I guess it's his wife now, piped up in the background, and PG kind of told her to tend to her business, that she was talking to Andy, not her, and that she was discussing when Summer came up missing, and she wasn't in the picture then, and she more or less informed PG that she was in the picture then.
Right? See?
So who's to say she wasn't with him when Fred Hill seen another car and him? Who's to say she wasn't in
Exactly.
the area?
And she said, "Why she? Yeah, why?" And she was supposed to be so sick, but she could go. Oh, that's what I was going to say about that. She's supposed to be so sick, she can't do anything. She can't walk, but she's up and down the driveway. She's You know how when she had that other video and she was saying it's a planned pop up? I believe that her and her son and whoever else were up there harassing and terrorizing and stalking and doing all the things she's saying to the whales. And I think that's why Dawn might have like decided like I mean Candace probably was like I don't want to live here anymore, I have these crazy people terrorizing us. And I think that's why Don might have would. Well, let me go see if I can get a job and get us a place up in Utah, and you wait here. And then I think that's what they were gonna do. And I don't know what happened, but something must have happened. Not just Jose being there. I think something else happened, and that's why Don came rushing home. Because I think that you know how when you look at the pictures of Summer and her hair is shaved in some parts, It's like shaved. It's not all shaved off yet. It's just like pieces are shaved up. I think they were terrorizing her, and they were going over there and shaving off her hair. And that's why when they had that interview, they didn't have the same story because neither they didn't talk about that part. That was a part of their script. And I think Jody Sue is the one that helps Candace with her with her script. I think that they when they came back from the market, they she went back into the trailer with her mom, or they went and sat by the trailer or whatever, and I think they probably smoked some, a blunt or some weed or whatever, had a beer, sat there and relaxed, talked. It's the country. Like, of course, like if I was a little kid, I'd be running around. I didn't have to come in the house till it was dark. And I think that that's what was happening, that they were that Jody Sue was terrorizing them. I think that's why her hair was like that. Because all the pictures, if you look how it started, and that's when she started going down like her health and everything start deteriorating because of what Jody Sue and them were doing to them. I
I
don't
do
know if they're
think
still
that Jody
friends.
Sue wanted,
That Jody Sue what?
I think she wanted rid of the wells. I think Jody Sue wanted rid of the wells. I mean, those
Yeah,
prior things that Squall Tip put out, you could hear what she said about them.
exactly,
How does somebody's kids who live down the road bother you so bad?
exactly. And then like I think that they were just constantly bothering her, and I think that Candace really was afraid of her, and so she just did what she was told. And then when she said, "Oh, Summer's missing," I think Jody Sue was over there probably like, "Oh, that you're going to be in so much trouble. They're going to take your kids. You better have a good story." I could just hear her because she is a manipulator. And if you're afraid of her, of course, she'd probably do what she says. And then, like, with another thing I wanted to say about Candace, I know I'm all over the place, you guys. Sorry. Um, I think that she just like she was lonely up there. Dawn worked all the time. She only had her mother, and she didn't have any friends. And she was lonely, and she wanted friends. And I think that's why she was so caring and trusting. She thought all these people had good intentions, like Jenna and all them, and that, you know, so it's like she lost everything. I don't think she was really. I mean, I think she was hurt by Jenna, like seriously hurt, but I think it was just like a collective, like everything together just like broke her.
Well, look at all of them that lined up to be her friend after her daughter came up missing. All these phone of friends. They don't have any proof, they have opinions.
Exactly.
I was on the phone with Dawn. How many times have we heard I was on the phone with Dawn? I was on the phone with Candace. They record all these conversations with these people, then they get mad at, and they got proof of all them conversations, but they ain't got no proof of the conversations with Dawn and Candace.
Exactly.
They just gathered up enough info to then part ways and go start a YouTube.
Exactly.
If you were in it, if you became friends with Dawn and Candace with pure intentions of you wanted to find out information to know what happened to Summer Moon Utah Wells, you would still be friends with Dawn and Candace because we
That's
still
true.
don't know where that child is.
Exactly. And then she had a purse. It changed into a wallet. I mean, she just. Ugh. All of them are just, I don't know. Um,
They gave
oh,
Jody
and
Sue Brown a taste of fame. They paraded her out here for all of us to feel sorry for and put her on this big marathon fundraising. Here's Jody Sue. Isn't she beautiful? She needs a place to stay. She's so abused. And she was on the panel every night, hours and hours and hours. That's what started Jody Sue Brown and her lust for the internet fame was the fundraiser.
well, she already had it because she was putting all those videos on Facebook. She just didn't know like enough about YouTube, I guess. Because as soon as she found out, she went on her.
Right.
And then yeah, and then I never believed Jody Sue from the beginning. And remember in PG's chat, I used to always say, "You can't believe her; she's lying," because her story never stays the same. The truth doesn't change, and that's why I know she's lying.
No, it does not. I never bought into her either.
Oh, and then another thing is when she said when she saw Candace, and Candace told her, "Oh, I can't find Summer." Jody Sue just started crying, saying, "I didn't know. I didn't know. You didn't know what?" So it's something. It's something there. And then like all the words that she used, I think those she was inflicting on others. Her monster. I think she's the monster that was on the hill. I think she's the one that was terrorizing people and stalking people and doing all that. Because first she claimed she didn't know the Wells, and then all of a sudden she knows everything about the Wells. She knows when they fart, when they eat, when they drink. She knows what they had, how many beers Candace drank last night. She knew too much. And then Andy goes out of his way to make it seem like, oh, I didn't know them at all. I just seen them once in a while. He didn't just sell them weed. Give me a break. Don could have his own weed blends planted there.
Right. He's got enough property.
Nobody, I mean, like people with property like that, they grow their own. I know if I had a yard, I would be growing me some. And then I was watching that video that you left a comment on when Candace was crying for Jenna. Remember? And she was crying and just like it was just like a a bunch of clips of her crying. Oh my God, my heart. That's when I just knew she was telling the truth. I didn't know it at first because I just thought, oh, she's drunk. She's crying drunk. But if you watch that video, it just breaks your heart. It breaks your heart.
Yeah, because it's like really she had no friends. And then Summer comes up missing. And all these people start reaching out to her and telling her they love her and how much they care about her. And then one by one, they all dropped off. They took
Exactly.
up with her at a very vulnerable time. And now
Right?
they all want to, poke fun that she's not on the hill anymore. Would you want to be on that hill and no one else is there?
No, I would be terrified. And I see why she doesn't want to go back. I mean, I would never feel safe there again. And I think what
No,
happened was
I wouldn't.
right. I think that they wanted to buy her property, but I think they wanted to buy it real cheap. and that's probably why the wells didn't sell.
But okay, let's say they did want to buy her property. She didn't have money to move. He's on YouTube begging for money to get a place for
Five
him
hundred
and his new
dollars.
wife to live. So where was they going to get a? How was they going to buy their property? They didn't have a pot to piss in or when to throw it out of.
I'm wondering if the parents made them move because they were suspicious of them.
I think, being that is his mother's property, he left her, left Jody Sue. They wanted Jody Sue gone. They made her move. I think if he wanted to go back, they would have let him go back. But I think it's a little too hot in the kitchen around there, and he don't want to go back there right now. Do I
Oh,
eventually think
right.
he will go back there? Yeah, he'll be back there.
Right. I never thought of that. And then, like,
But in
another reason. Go ahead.
in my opinion, he'll be back with Jody Sue.
What, when things cool off, if they're not in prison? When do you think he'll go back?
Okay, let's be honest. Do you think this current one is going to last?
No,
And
no.
when it falls
He's
to
too
the
much.
wayside, he'll be right back with Jody Sue.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, she
That's
said
for
that they were
younger
partying
Jan,
together.
and she has
Oh,
him all these years.
you think Don will go back, beautiful sunflower? He probably has
Oh
to. He
yeah,
won't have
Don will
anywhere
be
else to
back on the
go.
hill as soon as he gets out, and Candace will be right back there with him.
Yeah, she will. Even though she claims she's not in love with him anymore. Well, I don't know.
Candace
I don't.
was
She was what?
Candace. Candace, I honestly think felt that Ernie or even BK was really interested in her. And then we got this feeling of, well, I love Dawn, but I'm not in love with Dawn.
Yeah.
But
Beautiful sunflower.
look how long she's been with him.
Yeah.
That's what she knows.
Yeah.
Had someone else actually came along and showed real interest in Candace while Dawn was in jail, yeah, she might have left and she might not have came back. But as far as we know, that never happened. So when he gets out of jail, I foresee Candace and him being right back at 110 Ben Hill Road.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh, and that's another thing that that CM had Mary say about, the when she said that her and her husband were talking, and they think that they were renting her out of that shed.
I
She
never
said that
bought that.
well, CM fed her that story. The skeptic scientist, I think that's his name, and Trisha from Web Sleuths. They on the other night on their it's the one about Lori Daybell. It's like 2 or 3 nights ago, and that's the one at the if you go to the end, that's the one where Trisha tells that about Chris telling Mary to say that. And he told
I'm not surprised.
Trisha. Yeah, he told Trisha, "Don't you think it sounds better coming from her than from me?" I'll tell you the
There's a
timeline.
lot. I mean, there is a lot.
I know. When I was trying to write my script, every time I'm trying to write it, I keep thinking of more things to say, so then I never get to finish the script because I keep adding on to my list. That's why my notes are all jumbled up.
Yeah, it just goes from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And it's like people want to argue with you about how guilty they are. And it's like, okay, tell me what they done. And then they come up with some of these phone a friend crap that they've been fed. That's not a fact.
Exactly. And the worst thing that we heard was that they made the kids get on the swimming pool and lay on the cement. I used to do that all the time at the swimming pool. It's not that hot when you're after you get out of the pool. Like they didn't have anything to really say, and
It
then
warmed
later
them up.
on, right, later on, that's when they start coming out with, oh, they saw her get out of the shower, and I think that somebody even had Jose say those lies. Like he just wanted to go
Yes,
up there and make him sound like a
that
hero. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
several things that several things that Jose said were not the truth. But he did say some things that were the truth.
What do you think was true that he said?
Well, I mean, for instance, he said they had dressers that were stacked up so that when you were sitting at the kitchen table, you didn't see people using the restroom. That was a fact. I've found pictures to prove that. He said Dawn drilled holes all in the floor so that the heat from the basement, where the wood stove is, could heat the upstairs. That is true. I found photos to prove that. He said Summer greeted him at the storage shed and said he looked not like a nice guy. Blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that. I don't think Summer talked in sentences like that. So I don't believe that. So, that's what I'm saying. He said things that were true, but he also said things that I do not believe.
Right.
He was led to watch videos before his big YouTube debut. If you're going to tell us facts, you don't need to go watch past videos. Tell us what you know.
Exactly. And he wouldn't have called the grandmother Grandis because that
No,
is a
no,
YouTube name that they gave her. He would have
exactly.
referred to her as Candy. And then let's see. Oh, okay. The timestamp for Web Sleuths is it's called "You Will Agree with Chad Daybell," and it's the time is 2 hours and 7 seconds or minutes, and that's when Trisha tells the story about CM, and then let's
And
see.
as for
Go ahead.
Jose and his, passing away, it really bothers me that they put Jose on this YouTube platform. I think he was being offered items. I think perhaps he was being offered some financial incentive or whatever way you want to call it.
Right.
Last I had heard, it was supposedly CM that had arranged for him a place to stay wherever it was that he did pass away in California at some homeless place for homeless people. I think you can't take a person that has addiction problems or issues and start handing them stuff like this. You can't give them stuff that they can take and sell. You can't give them a steady flow of cash because a lot of times that causes a relapse.
That's
And
true.
I often wonder if that's not what happened to Jose.
Well, I wonder if well, I don't know if they showed proof or not, but I wonder if that's just his way to pretend like he's to get out of this, so he doesn't have people hounding him. But I don't know if
Yeah,
anyone's
a
ever
lot of
seen
people
proof.
have said that. I don't know either.
It's just I don't know. That was just too convenient. I mean, I don't mean to be seen heartless, but it's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think lots of us have doubted it or wondered about it, but he came on portraying himself as the good guy and such an upstanding person, and he took care of the kids, and Summer loved him, and blah 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 blah. Take 1 minute and think back to who Jose came to Tennessee with. And to me, that paints the picture.
Exactly. Beautiful sunflower. She's like, I'll say it. Exactly. And that's another. Ugh. I don't know, and it's just like everybody that comes to YouTube that they say knew Summer or knew the family or anything, they put them up on a pedestal and just take everything they say as gold. And it seems like a lot of them have been prepped. Oh, make sure you say this, or make sure you make them sound really bad. And it's just sad to me. It just, I couldn't even imagine being Candace. Like, honestly, my daughter went missing, and you go to YouTube for help, and look at how they treated both of them. It's sad. I think that
It
that
is
like
sad.
Monkey's right. I think Monkey's family seem more suspect than the Wells now. And everybody like, oh, you can't talk about them, but oh, if you want to talk about the Wells, we could wish them the hell and back. It's sad.
And the difference in the interview he done with the Wells and the difference in the interview he done with Monkey's parents are night and day.
Exactly. Exactly. And then the even when he first interviewed Hunter, um, Duty Ron, and a couple of the other police channels that I watch, they all said it. They all were like, "What's he doing? That's a minor. He should have never put him up there. He's a witness. He's putting his life at risk." And then when he went and released Andy's name, like it's just unprofessional.
It was unprofessional, but I want to know why Allie needed to tell so many lies.
Yeah. Maybe should I don't know. I don't understand what a lot of their motives are. Sage brought up a good point. Like, how many kids, that have went missing? How many of their neighbors do we know? We don't even know one of their neighbors' first names.
Right, and we know the whole Ben Hill Road now.
Right. It's beautiful sunflower. They all just want money. They all came for money. And it's sad. It's sad because it's a little girl's life that had a future. I mean, I don't know if she's still alive. I pray that she is, but everybody brings up a good point and says, well, my kids said, "Mom, would you really want her to still be alive and live through whatever?" I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I just pray for her every night and hope that we get answers and that whoever did whatever to her, that they pay for it. I stopped watching a lot of the channels because the drama is just too much. It's like the same recycled stuff with drama, 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 drama. It's not like like we're not nobody's discussing like let's get these like you know I I think that they should attack Jody Sue like they did Candace and Dawn basically, and Andy. I think he's liar. He can't remember anything from that day. He can't remember anything important. He can't, you know, why are you here then? He can't talk about Jody Sue. So what are you here for? Just to get $500 to buy a camper? And then every time you say anything, they all want to defend him like, "Oh, don't no, he's telling everything." Sorry.
And that's a pretty prominent date. I mean, they you should remember what happened that day. And they asked him, "What vehicle were you driving?" Duh, I don't know.
Right. He can't remember anything. He's like, "Oh, I don't remember." And then everybody like if you say, "Oh, I don't believe you," they're all ready to attack you. "Oh no. He's telling the truth. I believe him." He is not a good guy. I don't care what anybody says. He is not a good guy cuz a good guy would never stayed with Jody Sue 27 years or however many fake years they've been together. He would have had a nice place for her to live, a decent place. What they're living in a shed or a camper or whatever that is. Yeah, I believe he knows. I believe her son knows, and I believe she knows exactly where Summer is or what happened to her. Well, it's my opinion that they are the three that need to be looked at. I wonder. I don't know. I wonder if the police got their phones. or if they like, because they don't have to actually have the phone. They could subpoena the phone company and get the records. And then
And I find it a bit funny.
go ahead.
The son goes off to the army. Andy runs off and marries somebody else. What's wrong with the picture here?
Exactly. She just wanted some way to get them off that hill. That's, I mean, that lady's sick. I'm trying to find some more of my notes about her.
And
Well, I just go ahead.
is it possible but this was is it possible this was the last ditch effort to hold on to Andy?
They seemed like they were getting along perfectly fine in all her videos until Summer went missing. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean when she was at the drive-through, that one that I saw getting food or whatever, they seemed quite compatible to me, which his new wife, clearly I think she was in the picture at that time. So clearly they were sharing him then. That's my opinion.
Ugh. You could be right, beautiful sunflower. She says she thinks they. I don't know if you could see chat 120. She says she thinks Josie Sue possibly planned this, thinking well the Wells would go to prison and she and Auntie could get the land. I think that's a big possibility right there.
Yep, I agree. That's a big possibility.
And
But
how
still,
many
yet
of
they would have
us
to buy it.
they would probably like get it from a, or like they probably, yeah, but I think they wanted to buy it like cheap, like under like a giveaway price.
Right.
And then another thing is like Jody Sue, though, before she deleted her Facebook, half of her contacts were all pet. I mean, I know you're not supposed to say that on YouTube. We're all offenders. Like you don't just happen to have those type of friends, no matter how many are in the area. I mean, I don't think I have any on my Facebook, and I have almost a
None
thousand
on
friends on there,
mine.
right? None that I mean, I don't know. And then like, no, I forgot what I was gonna say about that.
And you have a young daughter. Her son was underage also at the time, and you have a known registered one that comes and parks in your drive to use the internet. Was that not correct?
Right? And she's hyper vigilant, but she doesn't see them there.
She knew they
I
were
just
there.
exactly. That's why I think she was up to darker things than we're imagining. And we thought it was Candace, and I think it was her the whole time. I think she's a sociopath, but I don't have a license to diagnose her. So exactly, just like that's why I was saying about like I could see that Candace probably liked hanging out what's his name, because the young boy, because he smoked weed. I mean, I don't know if there's anything between them. I doubt it. I think she just wanted somebody to hang out with. You know, she didn't get along with his mom. She's not from the area, so it's hard to meet people when you're living up in seclusion, and you hardly go to, when you go to town, you don't meet that many people. I mean, that's probably why she talked to everybody, because she was lonely. She wanted friends, someone to smoke weed with. Because usually, like, when people that smoke weed, they like to smoke with a group of people, or at least like two or three. So I think that's what she just wanted someone to like hang with and have beers with or whatever. I don't know what she drank, but and like everybody that says that they're
Someone to talk to
terrified.
and her kids.
Right, right. And everybody says that they're like terrified of Jody Sue. She threatens everybody that comes forward and all this stuff. I really think that, her damsel in distress is an act. I think all that the things that she says about everybody else is her, is what she's doing. She probably texts, like, when her and Andy were together, she probably like constantly texts him and expects him to text her right back when he was at work or on his runs and things like that. Because he's kind of wimpy. He wouldn't be my type, I'll tell you that.
That
So,
would be
was
a
there
big
anything
no.
else? Right? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Me?
Yes.
Well, we sure don't have a very big crowd this evening. We're going to have to do something about this.
I know. I'm gonna try a different streaming service, because I think it's this StreamYard. Just is I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna work on my computer tonight, and I'll have next time we do it, I'll have more things to show you to bring up. I wanted to bring that article up, but it won't. My computer's lagging for some reason.
Well,
Yeah,
the
Jody
sound
Sue is
quality
definitely.
is pretty good, at least.
Oh, it is. Oh, good, good. When I go pick a microphone, it has like five to pick from,
And
so I'm like, I get confused.
I vote we elect Beautiful Sunflower as a mod. She's a friend of mine.
Okay, let me
And
figure out how to.
she's pretty good as far as knowing how to drop links and that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's what we
Much better
need.
than I do.
I need help with that.
She's good at that.
All right, I did it.
Well, Beautiful Sunflower, you told me my mic was too high, so I turned it down. Now you tell me it's too low.
Well, I'm glad that I finally got to talk to you, 120.
Oh, we
I
have
wish I was
chatted
a.
back and forth for so long.
I know. And you're welcome to come up anytime you want, beautiful sunflower. So I guess we could just call it a night, and then we could think of some more things that we want to bring up and do it again in like 2 days. Would that be good?
Fine with me, dear.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And I'll watch all the videos in the next 2 days so
I'm
I
so
can learn how to do
glad you're
this
back.
better. Thank you. I know. I after I talked to you the last time, I my doctor called me and said they had a cancellation, and so I went and had surgery, and now I'm sorry I had it, but I'm gonna go have
Oh,
another MRI and all that. So this week, so I should find out more later in the week. But thank you very
well, I
much, and
will
we'll call
pray
it a
for you.
night. Thank you. I appreciate it. I need it.
Okay.
I need it. Thank you guys for coming. Tell all your friends, and we'll try it. We'll do it again in on Wednesday. Oh, I can't do it on Wednesday. I'll do it on Thursday because Wednesday, my granddaughter
Okay.
is taking singing classes, so I take her to singing. Okay. All right. Have a good
Oh.
evening,
Okay,
and
dear. We'll see
thank
you
you.
then. You too.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.